Good morning. It's Tuesday, August the 8th. You're watching Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it's good to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. It's Tasty Tuesday. We'll be checking in with a location, been around for a while, in the Washington corridor area. We also got a special guest joining us very shortly, but right now, back from vacation, joining us in online from her office, Diana Barrera-Burgos, the HCC Southeast College Communications Director. Good to see you, Diana.
Good to see you, Todd. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And yes, I was on vacation in a secluded island in Nicaragua, Little Corn. Truly, truly recommended.
And has it sunk into you that you're back in reality, back to the grind, back to work?
I come energized. So it has not sunk in yet, but I am so happy to be back, be with my team and getting ready for the fall registration, fall semester. We're all getting ready here at Southeast. So let's get on working.
Yeah, and I know you guys, along with several other of the colleges, have fairs going into the semester, and I know you'll probably have a number of people on campuses for the next few Saturdays towards the latter part of this month.
That is correct. So we have several of our campuses are hosting open fairs, registration fairs, August the 12th and August 19th.
Right.
That's what's happening here at our campus. And we're going to have a lot of music, food, fun for everybody to come and visit our campus. But not only that, come and register and be part of the HCC family.
It's like an all-in-one stop. You can get all your questions answered. We're going to talk more about those fairs and registration later on in the program. But Diana, we want to thank everyone who's watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here just about every morning when HCC is in session, Mondays through Fridays at 10 a.m. But they can also catch us in social media anytime and on HCCTV.
That is correct, Todd. So we're live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page. It's HCC Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, in the YouTube. We are also on formerly Twitter, so it's now on X and LinkedIn, and also on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
I'm still trying to get used to this whole X and Twitter thing. I mean, I don't like it, but whatever,
Me neither. I like the Twitter part, and it took me a while to get used to Twitter. So now X, all right, fine, we'll go with it.
Well, Diana, I know you know this next guy, and you're going to be talking to him very soon. He is the new dean of the Global Energy Center of Excellence, Alberto Urbina. Alberto, welcome back to the show.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Congrats on the move. And we are looking forward to hearing about all the great things you guys have going on. I'll be with you in about 10, or Diana will be with you in about 10 minutes. Okay, first off, we welcome one of my favorite places in the Washington corridor area. It's really across the city of Houston. We'll talk more about that in a second, but they're celebrating Houston Restaurant Week. Chef at Max's Wine Dive, Ethan Evitts, is joining us, and he's our Tasty Tuesday guest. Chef, welcome to the show. We can get you to unmute your mic there. There you go. Good to see you.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, now I've talked about this before we went on the air. One of my favorite things you guys have there is the fried egg sandwich. I understand you still serve it up. It's world renowned, but we're going to show folks a picture of it. But is that still a mainstay on your menu?
Absolutely. No, I'm not touching a fried egg sandwich. I grew up eating those as a kid, and it's one of my favorite things as well that we do here.
They do it. They give it a twist that you won't get anywhere else. So definitely recommended. What do you got there for us today, Chef? And where are you going to be? I know Houston Restaurant Weeks is going on, and you've got something you're going to be preparing as well.
All right, so I'm just going to be doing a couple things from our Restaurant Week menu. Two of the things that I'm pretty happy with. I got a fried pork chop marinated in dulce de leche with a little apple and fennel slaw and a mustard demi-glace. And to go with that, I've got a grilled peach salad with some frisee greens, some toasted guajillo dressing, and a little bit of ricotta.
You can go ahead and get started with that as you're doing that. Let me ask you, Chef, tell me a bit about your background, because I understand you've been with Max's for just a little while now.
So I have been in the Houston area for about 7 to 8 years now. I originally got my start in the Austin area, worked all throughout San Marcos and Green, And when I came here, I was lucky enough to get involved with Houston chef Brian Caswell. He kind of took me under his wing and he became my mentor. And he actually taught me this particular dish that I'm doing right now. But I put a little twist on it.
And so you marinate that pork chop in dulce de leche. That is one thing I could never imagine. Does that give it a sweet, smoky taste, or how does that complement it?
It does. So I have a little bit of the sweetness, and then I have a little bit of the bitterness from the fennel, a little bit more sweetness from the apple, and then our slaw dressing with the celery seed. It kind of celebrates some of our German heritage here in Texas. I mean, where would Texas cuisine be without Germany?
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones who invented chicken fried steak and everything.
It looks like, with that pork chop, to me, that's a kind of a comfort food. And Max's Wine Dive, is that kind of, maybe you can tell us a little bit about the place. I mean, the fried egg sandwich, to me, that's comfort food. You got a fried pork chop right there. Tell us a little bit about the menu and a bit of the history.
So the Max's Wine Dive is about 16, 17 years old. And we are exactly based off of comfort food. The idea originally was our owner named it after his son, and he wanted to kind of bring some of the New York wine bar vibes into what we were doing here, but he wanted to do it with comfort food.
Yeah. And you guys have, I understand, fried chicken as well on the menu. Is that that's one of the big staples there too?
Fried chicken is our slogan, our mascot. It's what we do all day, every day, and we do a really great job of it.
Okay, so you got the pork chop there. Is that on the prefix menu for Restaurant Week?
Yes, it is. Along with our fried chicken, it is one of the entree options. And it's the chicken is always famous, but I like to mix it up a little bit, and I think it's a pretty exciting addition.
And that's now, is that the dressing that you're putting on there as well?
Yes, sir. Sorry, it's a little hard to see. I've got my frisee greens with the toasted guajillo dressing. The guajillo brings a little smokiness. I wouldn't even be a chef if it weren't for smokiness, I tell you.
That looks pretty darn good there.
And then I have the little peaches on there that are already charred off and cooled down. That releases some of the sugars and allows it to coat and get a nice texture on there.
And the pork chop will go with that salad, or does it go on it?
So they're different courses. But I think, personally, if I were to sit down and eat Restaurant Week, I would order one and then the other. I think they kind of go together.
I can imagine a pork chop and a salad. Yeah, why not? Get a little healthiness with the comfort food as well. I know COVID was a big thing with a lot of the restaurants not being able to survive through or really just pivot and change the way they do things. What's your post-COVID environment at Max's Wine Dive now? How has it changed things in the way you guys operate?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the biggest changes that we've had to deal with, firstly and foremostly and mainly, is that, believe it or not, there's a lot of new restaurants out there. Yeah. The environment got a little bit more competitive. All the restaurants that closed, the buildings were there vacant and they were available for very cheap. So now we're dealing with an environment where there's a lot more out there. There's new restaurants popping up all over the place, and there's new restaurants closing all over the place too. So it really behooves us to be very unique with what we do, to try and be a little bit more innovative and to stand out.
It says something about Max's Wine Dive. It's been around for almost 17 years. The average, I think, length of a restaurant in Houston could be less than a year, maybe 6 months, if things don't go well. But you guys have been around for 17 years. You obviously have a customer base, but do you think it's the menu, it's the atmosphere? What keeps Max's Wine Dive out there and very popular?
Well, as a chef, I personally think, firstly and foremostly, it's good food. Yeah. If you build good food, people will come. But in my experience here at this place is we are really having a good time. We're also celebrated for our playlist, for our music.
Oh, yeah.
We interact with the customers. We have a good time.
Well, I certainly remember the music when I was there as well. Got to get back out there. So that you've got your pork chop. How's it coming along? Do you is it like pan frying it? It's not being deep fried, correct?
Yes, sir. It's a little hard to see over here. My camera's kind of small. But what I got going on is I've got a nice cast iron skillet. This
Okay.
is a skillet my grandmother actually got me for my
Wow.
12th birthday.
Well seasoned skillet, I would imagine.
So I'm just pan frying it around. I get the butter in there, and with this dish, you can't have too much butter. This is a panko breaded pork chop, so it just absorbs all the butter you can give it. And then I give it a nice swirl around there, make sure I get all that butter in there too.
And with pork, do you cook it all the way through, or do you want to cook it to where it's a little pink in the middle? Which, because I hear both sides of the equation. How does that work, in your opinion?
So I will cook a piece of anything the way anybody likes it without complaint. You'll never hear that from me. The FDA, within the last couple of years, has released that they have found it to be safe to eat pork at around medium rare. In the United States, our food is typically safe enough to do that.
Right.
And I think it's quite delicious. This is a pounded out pork chop. So it's very German, very schnitzel-esque, if you can call that a word. And it is always cooked all the way through, which I find a lot of my customers here have a tendency to prefer anyway.
So you're plating this up, and what is that there that you're putting on? Is that the
So this is just a little apple and fennel slaw, and it's marinated in nothing but a little bit of flavored lemon water. And then I got a little fennel and dill frond on there just to kind of, you garnish with what's in it.
Right.
And then I think all things are a little bit better with just a touch of lemon.
Oh, you can't go wrong there. That looks phenomenal.
Just to finish it off, a little mustard demi.
Oh, there you go. So this is part of the prefix menu over at Max's Wine Dive. $39. You get several courses, and of course, it also apportion benefits the Houston Food Bank. Chef Ethan Evitts, Max's Wine Dive in Washington. Thank you for being here on the show this morning. Wish you continued success, and I got to get out there and get back to one of those fried egg sandwiches soon. All right, thanks, Chef. And we're going to turn things over right now to Diana. Diana, you're standing by with a special guest as well.
Oh, yes. But before I go to my special guest, let me tell you something. I am hungry. I am going to have to go to Max's Wine Dive because that plate just looked amazing.
I know, it looked great. They have some great food. And I got to admit, he talked about, I forgot to mention the playlist. They play some great music there as well. I think I heard some AC/DC while I was there, and maybe some Zeppelin mixed with other stuff. But yeah, it's good food, good times. They've been around for a while, and there's a reason why. Okay,
well, I'm going to have to invite my next guest to go have lunch with me over there so we can talk about his new position. We are going to move on to a superstar. I'm going to call him a superstar, is Dean Alberto Urbina. Bienvenido, Dean Urbina. He is the new dean of our HCC's Global Energy Center of Excellence, which we call COE, Center of Excellence. And he is still the dean of our Material Science and Smart Manufacturing COE. So we're not going to let you go, Dean Urbina. You're ours at Southeast College. You know that, right?
Yes. Thank you for having me today, Diana. It's a pleasure to be here with you all, and I look forward to sharing some of the exciting things that are happening within our Centers of Excellence.
Excellent. Well, again, welcome back. Bienvenido. Before we talk about the COE, we want to first congratulate you on being named Dean of another Center of Excellence. This is a huge accomplishment, which means more work, but that's okay, right? And we're super proud of you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Yes. I mean, the manufacturing industry here in Southeast Texas is very diverse. So the recent merger between the Centers of Excellence really makes a lot of sense. When you take a look at manufacturing in Southeast Texas, I mean, it includes all the chemical plants and refineries that we're all kind of used to, but it also includes all of the parts manufacturing, the food manufacturing, the biomedical manufacturing. So the manufacturing industry is very, very broad here in Texas, specifically in Southeast Texas. So this recent merger really captures the breadth of how diverse the manufacturing industry is.
No, that is true, Dean Urbina. it's definitely an opportunity for our students. And talking about our students, let's talk about how can we start the enrollment process, because this is going to be huge for our students. Like you said, there's going to be lots of opportunities. So let's talk about the enrollment. What's coming up for our students?
So we have a couple of things. So this Saturday, the 12th, and next Saturday, we're going to have open houses at all HCC campuses. We're going to be on site to be able to provide students tours, program information, answer any questions that they have, and help them with their application process. So I definitely encourage members of the community that are thinking about enrolling at Houston Community College to come out and visit us this Saturday, or really any day, but especially this Saturday, because we're going to have all of the team there to be able to assist with all of the different processes. But it's real easy for any new students that would like to get started. They can start by submitting their application at www.applytexas.org. That'll get the process started. And then after that, they may have to do a few things, submitting the transcripts and other documents. And then after that, we can go ahead and advise them and get them enrolled into one of our manufacturing programs.
Oh, this is great information, Dean Urbina. And can we talk a lot? Well, no, I want to talk more about this, but can we talk more about the jobs returning in the oil and gas industry? I think my husband is in the oil and gas industry, and I always wonder, are the jobs going to come back or not?
Yeah, I mean, the jobs are back. When you think about the oil and gas industry, it's really important to consider the three big, parts of oil and gas. You have the upstream, which is really drilling for oil and pumping it out of the earth. You have the midstream, which is transporting it from those oil wells out to the refining capacity. And then you have the downstream, which is really taking that petroleum and creating the different products that we use on a daily basis, from gasoline to diesel to the plastic bottles that we use for various things. So all of those sectors are hiring different types of technicians and trades right now. And then the other exciting thing is, because of some of the recent legislation coming from DC, there's also a lot of investment in green and renewable energies. There is this circular economy that is starting to take off, which is basically being able to take plastics, reuse them, and be able to make new products out of it. And that's why they call it kind of the circular economy, because the plastics are just going to keep going into that closed loop cycle where they're going to be getting reused. There's also a lot of investments, private investments and investments from the federal government around hydrogen and the creation of hydrogen as a fuel source. So there's just a lot of really neat things that are happening here in Southeast Texas relating to oil and gas, but also to some of this green energy technology that's being developed.
Wow, that's amazing information. I didn't know that we did so many products out of oil, honestly. And a lot of people, they just think, oh, it's just gas, going to the gas station and getting their gas there, but it's everything that we touch. It has to do with the oil and gas industry. Approximately how many jobs are we looking at in the Southeast Texas area?
In Southeast Texas, I mean, it's quite a few. So in total, according to the Texas Workforce Commission, I mean, you're looking at anywhere from 800,000 to 1 million jobs that are related to oil and gas. There's a lot of openings right now for different areas within those oil and gas careers. I mean, from welders to machinists to field service technicians to process operators to pipe fitters, and pretty much just across the board, all different types of jobs. And we have programs within our Center of Excellence. Some programs really are very short, from 4 to 6 months, and students can get enrolled. They can go to class full time, and within a 4 to 6 month period, be ready, graduating from the program and getting ready to go and start an entry level position within one of their respective occupations.
Wonderful. And I know you mentioned something about process operators and all, and I know that there is a process technology expansion program at our Northwest College. And in addition, that would transfer over to our Southwest College. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct. So our process operator, our petroleum engineering and instrumentation programs, they are housed at our Northeast location. Beautiful facility, really nice, and new labs that students get to do the hands-on component. So that's where the program is currently housed, but we are offering some entry-level courses at our Southwest College at the Missouri City campus, and also at the Spring Branch campus for students to be able to get started with the program. And then once they complete some of the entry-level courses, be able to complete some of the intermediate and advanced level courses in a hybrid model between that campus and also the Northeast campus, where we have a lot of the training equipment. And I just wanted to add too that, for the process operators, a lot of community members may think that it's just limited to the oil and gas industry, but that's not necessarily the case, because process operators and instrumentation technicians, they're needed pretty much in any location or production facility where you're transporting liquids from one place to the other and you're making some product. Okay, so I kind of think of the Bluebell factory in Brenham, that's also process technology, and all the food manufacturing that takes place in Southeast Texas also hire quite a bit of process operators as well. So the nice thing is that occupation is not just limited to oil and gas, it's very broad across the manufacturing industry that hire process operators.
Wow, this is great information, Dean Urbina. I mean, I wish we had more time to talk about all the wonderful programs that we have offered at HCC Southeast, Northwest, Southwest, and all over our system, but especially in our Global Energy COE, because it's very important for our students to know the great opportunities that are out there. How can they get in touch with you if they want more information?
They can visit our website at www.hccs.edu and go under programs offer and search our manufacturing programs. They can also reach out to me directly at 713-718-6839, and I'll be more than happy to provide them the information that they need, set up a tour if they'd like to stop by any of our campuses and check out the neat equipment that we have.
Well, great. Again, thank you, Dean Alberto Urbina. Muchísimas gracias, new Dean of our HCC's Global Energy Center of Excellence, and still our Dean of our Material Science and Smart Manufacturing COE. We will have all the information that Dean Urbina mentioned in our post after the show. So now I'm going to say, welcome back, Todd. We've had a great show. What do you think?
So far, so good. Always good to start off with Tasty Tuesday, and it's always good to see Alberto as well doing some great things with those COEs. We talked about registration fairs. I want to start talking about that now with our announcements, Diana, because you guys have one coming up, an open house and registration fair, and it's going to be this weekend and next, correct?
That is correct, Todd. So we're going to have an amazing open house and registration fair that will give all students an opportunity to come and get to know our campus, get to know our college, get to know the programs that we are offering here at the East Side campus. And this is going to happen at 9 a.m. and 1 a.m. to okay, hello, Diana. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays, August the 12th and 19th at the East Side campus. So just check out our HCC District Facebook page for more information.
There's a lot of students wait until the last minute to register, and they may have questions, but they want to get it all done at once. And these fairs are that opportunity, because I know you have advisors there, financial aid experts there, and then people who can physically help them go through the registration process, correct?
Absolutely. We will have everything in one-stop shop. And so take advantage of this opportunity. We will answer all your questions, financial aid, cashier, you name it, we have it. And just come and visit us.
Okay. Speaking of registration is now underway. You got a couple of weeks left. The classes start August 21st. Then we're in the fall semester. We'll have other opportunities to register during the fall semester, but keep in mind, the time is still the same. The classes become more accelerated. So, you're losing a few weeks, but we'll talk more about that as the semester progresses. But keep in mind, 5 ways to learn: online anytime, online in the schedule. We've got hybrid labs and hybrid classes, which is a little bit in person, some of it online, and the traditional in-person classes. You can take classes across the district, but those classes tend to fill up rather quickly. So make sure you register today. Go to hccs.edu/apply. Do it today. One other thing we want to make and keep in mind, Police Academy is having a graduation. Congrats to them. HCC's Police Academy will recognize its graduates next week, 7 to 9 p.m. Tuesday, August the 15th. That's at HCC's Northeast campus. Going to happen there. Diana, thanks for being on the show. I think we're going to see you again next week, right?
That is correct. So you're kind of stuck with me on Tuesdays for the month of August. We'll see what will happen later on. But thanks again for having me.
Thanks, Diana. Welcome back from vacation. I know it's tough. Yeah, welcome back, though.
Thanks.
And thanks to all of you. Tomorrow on the show, we'll be talking to a student who's part of HCC's first AI bachelor's degree program. Check that out. And Small Business Wednesday as well. All that and more. We're live tomorrow, 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you then.